proudly we hail, and the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fights, oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets trembling, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land under the free, and the home of the brave? Because we are the brave. Yes, we are the brave. We'll fight to remain the name of the brave. We are the US of A. For those unaware, that flag is still there. It's our future to save. This land of the brave, the US of A. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free, in the home of the
What's going on, guys? Hey, repeat back, and it is Sunday night. That's right, one more Sunday for the NNR truck guys, and it's championship weekend. These guys were supposed to run last week, but unfortunately, the one and only Watt Racing had a sudden and very large power outage, so the entire field said, you know what, Watt's been around all season. He's a defending champ. He needs to be there. We want him there. They all decided to just go ahead and wait. So we've seen the Xfinity guys go ahead and get it done. We saw the Cup guys go ahead and get it done with a phenomenal finish. And yeah, tonight it's all about the trucks, and we've got Watt Racing, last year's series champ. He's going to go ahead and try to defend his title. Asbull, Tripp, and Little Tank, they've been around all season, charging hard since Daytona. Who can forget Little Tank pushing then J.R. Horn to his first win of the season. Unfortunately, no longer with NNR, but nonetheless, a pretty phenomenal race. Before we get really started, though, I gotta one more time thank Madison Rising for allowing us to use their version of the national anthem at the start of every single one of them. I mean, every single one of these races that I've broadcast for NNR, they've gone ahead and kicked it off. I love their third verse. Please go on over. Head to MadisonRising.com or Dave Bray USA if you like their lead singer. During the course of this season, they've actually gone their own way. They've got two separate things going on. DaveBrayUSA.com. He's a former Navy medic. he's all about the fire, police, EMS, first responders, U.S. military, obviously, and show them your support. They would absolutely appreciate it, especially during these times where nobody's really going out to watch these big bands and concerts and all that. They make all their living right now off of any of their supporters. So if you can, head on out, support them. They definitely appreciate it. Madison Rising, thank you very, very much one more time for allowing us to use your national anthem all season long. And Godspeed, fellas. All right. In the booth, now that I've got that all taken care of, in the booth with me tonight is going to be the one and only NNR Boehner. Boehner, you saw in that phenomenal finish in the Cup race with 3 wide between the Aviator, Amore Smoke, and himself up high. We were actually just talking about that, and Boehner said for a split second on his ticker, it actually showed him taking the lead. What a phenomenal finish that would have been. High side of Atlanta Motor Speedway coming to support a great, great finish. Boehner, thanks for coming along, hosting this truck race with me tonight. I know you know these guys out here pretty well. You race with a few. A couple of them are Rook Racing. Thanks for coming out tonight, buddy.
Absolutely, Pete. Hey, we got one more NNR race. I wanted to be a part of it any way I could. Appreciate you having me in the booth with you. You're the best, buddy. I'm just excited to watch these truck guys go after it, man. What a way to end the season. With Asville, Little Tank, Watt Racing, and Trip all going after it. I'm excited. I feel like the first, it's a lot calmer in the booth here, Pete, getting ready for this one than it was, I think, on Thursday and Tuesday night for me. So this is going to be fun. I'm excited to be here and appreciate all your broadcasts all season, man. And it's an honor just to be calling a race with you.
Well, I tell you, man, it's been fun. We were just talking about that a little bit ago. It's been a phenomenal season. The Xfinity guys got that done. You came second, right behind your Rook Racing teammate Asbel. Asbel got his first championship in the Xfinity series. Then you came in right behind. The Aviator and went back to back in the for the Cup championship, and then a more smoke, and then you in third. Tell you what, buddy, that is not bad company to be in. I know next year when you got a full season under your belt, you're going to be even stronger, and I'm looking forward to getting the 2021 season started up. I would say just about 6 weeks, and man, it's going to be a phenomenal time. Heat 5, a little bit better. There's actual DNFs in there. Hopefully they fix that, the ticker and the lap counter. I love watching your stream when you help me out with the lap counter and the fuel and the pitting and all that. It'll be nice not to sometimes have to guess where everybody's at and what the top 5 is, because it'll just show me. I won't have to wait until one of y'all work your way around the track for a lap count. It'll just show me. So it's great to finally have those tools if they get them fixed. But man, I appreciate you and all the help that you've given me during this season with your stream. So thank you very much as well.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's big fun being able to stream and go back and watch them, and anything that can help you guys out in the booth, want to do that as well. But yeah, that's exciting, Pete. With the tools, and I know they haven't exactly been up and running and functioning so far since the game came out. But the game just came out. It's going to be 4 to 6 weeks until the next season, and that's going to be really awesome. As soon as they get those tools up and functioning for you, that's just going to make for a better experience all the way around for anyone who's viewing and anyone who's going back and watching. That's going to be really, really cool and add a lot to the whole experience of watching one of these NASCAR races on NASCAR Heat 5. That's going to be great.
It's something else I was thinking about, and I was going to talk to Coey about as well. At some point, he's supposed to, come along and hang out with us. But, with all these bracket races going on right now. As a matter of fact, Coey just went ahead and popped online. With all these races going on, these Fast Family Community races, every single one of them is on preset. There are no setup races that are part of this. NNR can really go along, watch which teams are good, take a look at which guys are really, which guys stand out, and might even with a whole 6 weeks before we start our next season, we could also do some pretty great recruiting for NNR. I mean, NNR is known as probably the best in presets on the Xbox, hands down. I'll say it now. I'll stick with it. The racing that I've witnessed, whether it was starting off last year with HD Motorsports in his booth on YouTube, or all throughout this year, I've seen enough in other league races, watching them and comparing them to NNR and trying to be as objective as possible to see what NNR actually has. You know, NNR went out and they won their first Fast Family Community race the other night. I think NNR finished top 7 or top 8 in that. So did a phenomenal job. The guys that they were up against, they were no slouch either. They were pretty fast as well, especially Rusty Walrus. But man, it's a lot of talent that we might be able to pull from and fill our roster up, get it going, let them see how NNR operates, what kind of competition they're up against, and really kind of move on.
Yeah, absolutely, Pete. It's kind of nice timing with how this whole tournament's kind of shaking out, kind of right when we move into our off season. I agree. I think there's a lot of guys that we'll all get to race against or watch and who might have some interest in coming over and racing, in NNR. And obviously we can try to accommodate that, but NNR has such a good core group of guys that I don't think it's going to be all that difficult to add some people. Or I don't think we're hurting for people who would like to come race over here. It's just a matter of working through some of those details. They're obviously, the window's been closed to add drivers for a really long time, so it'll be interesting to see what sort of interest there is out there, and what the rosters look like moving into 2021. But I'm excited for all that.
Yeah, I think in the past, Tom Flitty that races for East Park and Asylums, I think as well. He had shown interest in NNR as well as a few others. So yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. Looking forward to it. Well, Banner, these guys are done qualifying. We'll have our there's only going to be about 10 people out on track tonight. We'll have to see if Asbel, goes ahead and sets an early blistering pace, and if Watt, the defending champ, is going to be right up there with him. Have to see where Little Tank and Tripp fall. This top 4, none of them have been slouches all season long, and 3 of them, if I'm not mistaken, are your Rook Racing teammates, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think I only ran a couple of truck races this year, just to kind of help with get prepared for, at Pocono, and I think one other one, maybe it was Gateway or something like that. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be, the thing about Atlanta is draft is major important, Pete, and as long as you get your car decent and in the ballpark, nobody should be able to drive away from you, if there's no issues. So I know the trucks are, a little bit slower than the Xfinity. I've done some laps here in the truck that feels a little bit different, but all that being said, I fully expect Watt, Little Tank to have just as good of a shot as Asbel or Tripp, and I think that basically those guys are hopefully can have a really fun, awesome, intense but clean race, down the stretch, kind of how I felt for the most part with, or at least all the racing I was a part of in the Xfinity and the Cup race. Guys just want to have a good time, put on a good show, and finish the season off right, and I think they'll do that.
Oh yeah, I have no doubt. Now, tonight's really going to be no different. Rock, thank you very much for coming out, hanging out. I know there's a lot going on tonight, so I absolutely appreciate you coming. Keeping up with these truckers for one last race this season before we move on to 2021. BLM Trump, yeah, Asbel and Trippy are going to be fast without a doubt. Combat Beast, what's happening, buddy? Good. I'm looking forward to seeing you on track next year. I know I was just talking about Tom and whatnot, but I know you're going to be you're a big contender. I know that you used to help out a few other people during the season as well. Definitely appreciate the bits. Bowling, what's happening, buddy? How you doing? All right, so I just got the invite, but they have not actually unpaused the ticker as of yet. I will have the streams of both SWATs and Cowboy to go ahead and help me out. So looking, same thing as I just told you, Banner. Appreciate SWATs and Cowboy Matt, or what NNR Cowboy now, for helping me out along the season to keep up with things as they happen on track. Again, without the tools, it's very, very easy to get lost.
Oh yeah, yeah. I got all my smart devices out, Pete. I'm trying to have as many screens to distract me as possible, but no, just as many tools as I can have to make sure we're staying on top of this. But yeah, Pete, I'm excited, man. This is going to be some different strategy going on here. I think the first couple stages, and I'm very curious to see how this thing gets underway and what guys decide to do here.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. I mean, the Xfinity race on Tuesday night, it didn't disappoint by any way, shape, or form. And of course, the Cup race went off great without any kind of a hitch. That was a lot of fun. Especially a few times throughout the race where I was really, really dreading that race a little bit because I thought it was just going to be a whole bunch of bottom feeding, and it ended up being just the opposite. It actually ended up, working out to where the second and third lines came into play, and man, it proved to be some great racing.
Yeah, that was so much fun to be a part of, and those guys are so good that even when there's a preferred line on the bottom, they all know how to take runs and pinch you and make the outside work and work together up there. And I would assume the trucks, it's going to be harder, with a little less horsepower, I think, to make that high line work. So it's not going to have to do so much with the drivers here versus there. It's just the trucks are a whole different animal here, and it's going to be tough to make anything happen on the outside. But we'll see if anyone can go there, or if a couple guys can work with each other on the outside to get around someone who's in the lead. I know definitely that went against me at during the Cup race, and I think even with the trucks having a little less horsepower, they can definitely do the same thing here.
Oh yeah, I mean, I would imagine in the Cup cars on Thursday night, working with the presets, you could probably do a pretty good 3 or 4. In the Xfinity, maybe a 5. In these trucks, you could probably do like a 6 and still get away with it for the tire wear, maybe even a 7. I know you definitely won't have to lift. It's going to be wide open, so you're really going to have to watch how much input you put into the wheel when you're getting into the corner. That way, you're not scrubbing off those tires. They're bad enough as it is. Whether it's the right front or the right rear, you really got to watch that rear. You don't want to you don't want to cook those tires going into 1 and 2 and 3 and 4.
Yeah, it's with Atlanta, it's so much more setup dependent than other tracks as far as how you drive it. A lot of times you can kind of do some different things with the throttle, or how you approach an entry into the corner to kind of help save tires on exits as well. But at Atlanta, man, it's like if you go with a tighter preset, you're going to wear those fronts. If you go with the looser preset, you're going to wear those rears, and you're in the throttle so much throughout a lap here. It's not wide open, that there's not really a whole lot of approaching corners differently you can do that's going to make a difference on that tire wear. So, yeah, I mean, I did a 6 in the Xfinity, and that worked well for me. I don't know if what these guys will probably be doing in the trucks, but I'd be shocked if they were going much tighter than that. Although I'm sure you could still be plenty fast on a 5 or a 4 in a truck as well.
Yeah. I mean, don't. I mean, don't forget, you still have all that time to work your way down pit road and make any adjustments, your wedge, your air pressure, your tape, and so on. BLM Trump 20, thank you very much for the follow just a couple short minutes ago while we were carrying on. But ladies and gents, we're getting loaded in, and it looks like, at least your top two contenders, the guys that have really been up front running strong all season long, are going to take it 1 and 2. So on the pole, we got the 8 truck of the one and only Asbel, 88, coming on down track, giving a little bit of a kiss to that left rear or that right rear, saying, man, good luck warming up those tires. There's the 88 of Watt Racing, again, last year's series champ, out here to defend this year. Then we got the 75 of Fatless Dig. Then the 25 old Alpha York. Behind Alpha York, we got the 17 machine of NNR Spurl. Here's your other chase contender. I just saw him. There's the 5 Little Tank, 18 right in front of him. Then you got the Hooters machine of NNR Trip in that 33 is your fourth and final championship contender. Behind them, you got the 51 of NNR Swatch, your series admin, and then the 90 of Old Papa Bear out here all season long getting it done. But Boehner, we're coming to the start stripe to kick this off again. Welcome to the booth, buddy. Here we go.
All right, here we go down into turn 1. Looks like good clean start, maybe a little bit of contact there as Watt Racing tries to get to the bottom behind Asbel right away. And as you can see, they're already drafting right here off of Asbel, and see if they get situated here and get in line, or if they race each other a little hard. Hey, Pete?
I tell you what, it looked like the 88 of Watt was trying to pull down underneath that line. Remember, there is no out of bounds here. We've seen cars get rooked by just not really running that bottom line all the way down and somebody being able to sneak in underneath, just like right now this 88 might be trying to do to the 8 of Asbel. He tried to get down all the way underneath that yellow going down the backstretch last time, but the 8 of Asbel went down and protected. Now here comes the 75. Fatless Dig, he's going to get under the 88.
Yeah, Fatless, he's got 1 win, I believe, in the truck series, and similar to what we saw in the Xfinity race. A lot of guys still racing hard, trying to get that win, as they should, and I think we're going to see that with these truckers tonight too. Definitely someone like Fatless, Spurl, Alpha. There's a lot of guys in this race who'd love to get a win, so I would totally expect them to race the contenders respectfully, but they're going to go after it too, Pete.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, the 75 Fatless Dig, he got a win this year in the Xfinity Series at Michigan. That's what propelled him into the final rounds of the chase, and here he is running right now. P2 actually looking underneath, or trying to look underneath the 8 of Asbel, but Asbel went down and shut that door. Fatless Dig's got the 33 a trip right behind him. So first through fifth right now consists of 4 chase contenders here, Boehner.
That's right, and then right behind them we have Alpha and Cowboy. They're battling going into 3. They're side by side. It would do them well to kind of get lined up here. I think they'll be okay, as long as those trucks have plenty of speed in it once they do get this situated. I see those 5 cars up front starting to battle it out, and just as I say that, I see Trips diving in there looking for second place here on Fatless Dig or Fatless trying to take it from him. I don't know. They're side by side, Pete.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Asbel's all by himself. He's got that thing in clean air. But second, third, fourth, and fifth look like they just came off a restart. They are side by side, coming off 3 and 4, heading towards the start stripe. All green so far. Minimal contact. It's the 8, 33, 75, 5, and the 88. Again, your top 5, 4 of which are chase contenders. All clean, all green.
Yes, sir. And there's been a little bit of contact here between these 5 guys, but Atlanta, not too big of a deal. You can actually, a lot of times when you get to someone's bumper here, it messes you up more than it does the guy in front of you, especially on corner entry. So these guys are just trying to stay tight on one another. I imagine stages don't really make a difference, Pete. I remember, or at least I know for myself, I was trying all sorts of different stuff the first 2 stages against different guys to see what possibly could or wasn't going to work, or how to, maybe improve my position for when it really mattered if I was ever deep in the field. So wouldn't be shocked if guys are trying some different things here. And as I say that, while racing dives right under Little Take, looking for fourth. Going to try to suck up on those three guys in front of him. I believe all three of those guys are teammates there, Asbill, Tripp, and Fatless. So going to try not to let them get away.
Yeah, Asbill, Tripp, and Fatless, absolutely all Rook Racing teammates. You got the 88 now. As you said, he was able to get by the 5 of Lil Tank. And he's going to try to grab onto that draft of that top 3, pull himself back up, maybe make some moves, or maybe just kind of hang back. Doesn't need to get into the mix just yet. Stage points here mean absolutely nothing. It's all about where you're at when that final flag flies. And, if you're first, second, third, or fourth, well, that depends on how you're going to end up in the series overall when that checkered flag falls. Watt wants to defend his title, but he's got some serious competition, and nobody's just going to pull over and give it to him.
Yeah, Pete, sorry, I had my mic flipped up there. But yeah, we got Tripp diving underneath Asbill here. Looks like he's going to take the lead, so he's certainly not rolling over for him. He's going to go ahead and practice taking some runs at him and getting alongside of him, and as they should. Like I said, I mean, it seems like a no-brainer to just see what you can and can't do here. As much as you can practice on your own, there's nothing like actually being in the race and taking those runs and trying some things. As Asbill looks to cross Trippy back over, and we'll see if this brings Watt and Little Tank back into it here, stage 1.
It's absolutely possible. You definitely see where the 75 fell back just a little bit. Definitely didn't look like the 33 was able to get his truck down and defend that bottom line through those last sets of corners. So it allowed the 8 to come right back up and get underneath him. Or 33 could just be trying to conserve a little tire. Next time by, either when Cowboy or Swats comes across the start stripe, I'll go ahead and grab us a lap count, see exactly what we've got left here in stage 1 before we get our first real serious look at a stage break. It looks about 28 laps, and Cowboy's showing me about 10 laps left in the tank. So I would imagine if they run out, they could probably make the entire stage in one stop.
Yeah, the issue is going to be the tires, Pete. So I think that, especially with not being able to get adjustments in here, I will be surprised if anyone can one-stop it. And that was actually one thing I was kind of curious about and looking at when, seeing if anyone dropped off here too significantly. Like possibly maybe some of these guys, towards the rear are saving some tires. I know there's about a group of 4. But you can see Fatless, he's already signaling. He's coming in. So he's definitely planning on doing this thing in 2 stops. And I think that is what we'll see from the majority of guys, if not all of them.
Yeah, we're really going to have to watch for Cowboy right here. Watching his stream, that right front is at 1%. So he's really getting into these corners. In fact, he actually just made it as that thing hit 0. So we were talking a little bit earlier about really trying to keep these tires from popping and not putting too much wheel into the corners, just being very, very smooth, very steady, just putting enough input in to where the truck turns. And man, 18 got away with one, I think, right there.
Yeah, I mean, great job. I had a similar scare to that coming for my last pit stop in the Cup race. My right rear hit 0, and I about had a heart attack. So, yeah, it's okay. You can overcome something like that, in these first couple stages. But once again, these guys are probably pushing it a little bit here, and they don't have the adjustments in their trucks yet either. So I'd imagine they'll make some adjustments to be able to go a little further just in case they need it. But as I say that, here comes Tripp down pit road. Here comes, sorry, can't tell who that is behind him, but it looks like more cars are joining him.
Yep.
Yeah, there we go. So two of our championship contenders on pit road right now, Pete.
Yep. And I got to tell you, I talk about this guy every now and then, but as the season's gone on, I've become more and more proud of old Papa Bear. He's stuck out the entire season. He's been great with a few gifts every now and then. Arca Driver won a Richard Petty signed hero card or bio card. He awarded a die-cast car to more smoke after one of his recent wins. So man, it's and it's kind of looking like he's here to race. Well, I don't want to say he's here to race tonight because he shows up every single week to race. But before these guys started with the green flag pit stops, he was actually right in that back pack with Swats and Spurl and all the rest of those guys. So it looks like Pop Bear might have got something figured out with his pedal and wheels.
Yeah, absolutely, Pete. He's hanging right in the draft there with some of those guys, and as you can see, he went a little further before his pit stop here than a few of the guys. And then Pete, you know what? I made a rookie mistake and accidentally hit my start button. So if you can send me an invite back when you get something convenient, that'll be awesome. But otherwise, I'll just be watching from from your stream a little bit behind you.
I'm sending it right now, but I got you. I've done it too.
Thank you, sir.
Yepper.
Thank you, sir.
All right, so the it looks like green flag pit stops are about wrapped up. I think everybody's gone on down, taken care of what they had to take care of. Now, of course, the guys that qualified up front, the 88 and the 8, they're going to have, they would have had a little bit more time to get any changes that they needed into their trucks. Where somebody, that might have qualified a little bit further in the back, they're really going to be hoping that this stage break comes sooner than later. That way they can finish their setup. And of course, during the stages, you get more time to put anything that you need into your setup. But with that being said, right now it's looks like the 75 of Fatless Dig, judging by Cowboys track map. Right now it's saying that 75 Fatless Dig is in first place right now with 21 laps remaining here in stage 1.
Yep. I mean, Pete, he came in a little bit, like 2 or 3 laps earlier than Asbill. So he's definitely, it makes sense that he gained that time there. I think these trucks are going to gain, 8 or 9 tenths a lap, coming in and taking those tires early. However, he's going to be a little bit slower. He's going to probably be giving up a half a tenth to a tenth here to Asbill on, just tires alone. And it looks like Asbill's already caught back up to his draft here. And, I missed, unfortunately, I backed out. I didn't see when Tripp and Watt hit compared to Asbill. But those two, if they can get together, maybe they can start to reel both these guys down a little bit if they get to racing.
Well, I mean, Fatless Dig, he's just here to play spoiler. So if he can hold the 8 off, or if the 8 just says, you know what, you go on with your bad self, I ain't got to worry about you, I could finish right here and still win the championship. At the line, that time was 19 left to go in this stage. So everybody's still going to have to pit one more time. Even Cowboy, he was, I want to say, like in the second round of trucks to pit, he's only showing 14 in the tank. So everybody's going to have to pit one more time, maybe just for right sides and fuel, or do you take all 4 and fill it up and then stay out on the restart? I wouldn't think that that'd be the smartest way to go, though.
Yeah, I think we're going to see 4 tires and fuel even on another stop. Maybe somebody will do 2 tires. It's just that at Atlanta, your left sides actually wear pretty good also. So maybe the guys who went to lap like 18 or 19 before pitting, maybe they can consider doing 2 tires. I know I tried that in the Xfinity and it didn't work out too well for me. So, but once again, this is a time to experiment. This is a time to figure things out in actual race conditions. So I think people might try all sorts of different stuff here, Pete, knowing that as long as they're on the lead lap heading into the final stage, it doesn't really matter.
Well, as with earlier, 4 of your top 5 are your championship contenders. 75 of Fatless Dig now back to P2. The 8 truck of Asbill was able to move on up and take that spot away. So third place right now, you're looking at the 33 of NNR Trip with Watt Racing right behind him. And then back there in P5 is going to be the 5 of Little Tank. So again, 4 of your top 5 are your championship contenders and are the exact reason why these guys are in the place they're at, fighting for a championship, because they are up front in the top 5 week in and week out, come prepared, and they're ready to go when that green flag drops.
That's right, Pete. And then, right now the frustrating spot to be in And it's okay because the stage one, once again, is where Little Tank is, where it's like, man, these two guys are in front of me. They're drafting. Now you can see Watts taking a leak under, or taking taking a look underneath Trippy here, and so he's gonna go ahead and slide on by through turns 3 and 4. Fatless actually just hit pit road again. So you can see he's doing it in thirds, Pete. He's trying to get all the good out of those 4 tires he possibly can. The only risk to that is he's going to be a lap down until these guys decide to start coming down. But, a smaller field and the way these guys stay green, I think that's a pretty good strategy by Fatless. We'll see how it works out for him when it all comes down to the checkered here for the stage.
Yeah, I mean, nothing makes you feel more like Superman than 4 brand new Eagle Feel Goods and some Sunoco Racing fuel to take you to the end of the stage. Looks like Cowboy, he's going to go ahead and duck on down right now as well. So more and more people as they hit pit road, Fatless Dig is just counting that there's no issues. Nobody gets loose off of one of these corners, spins around, and gets collected by somebody else. He wants to stay green, as you said, so he does not get trapped a lap down before stage 2 starts, which again is in just 14 very, very short laps.
That's right, and I still really like the strategy though, Pete, because even if a caution does come out where he was at on the racetrack, he'd only be 1 lap down, and nobody's going a lap down, just from the racing here. You know what I mean? No one's that far off the pace from what I can tell. So he would get the lucky dog anyways. Take 4 tires, restart, 8th or 9th, and go after him again. So it's really not that can be a risky strategy in a lot of races, but for a race like this, I mean, I think he's doing the right thing. Absolutely. So we'll just, once again, as long as he gets on and off pit road smooth and can take advantage of those, that fresh rubber, as we see Cowboy exiting pit road as well right now. So he's on a little bit of a similar strategy, and it looks like Trippy signaling that he's coming down. So I think pit road's about to get real busy again here, Pete.
Yeah, at least another 2 or 3 trucks will be making their way down pit road. Cowboy definitely went down pit road a little bit earlier that time. Still had about 12% or so on that right front versus the 0 that he went in with last time. Definitely did not want to end up in that predicament again. But with a full load of fuel, it looks like these guys can go about 22 or 23 laps. But these tires, as you said earlier, they just can't handle it.
Yeah, Pete. 12% is a lot more comfortable than 0. I think we can all agree with that. So, and I think Fatless kind of set the tone. I think guys probably saw what he was doing and decided, like, hey, that kind of makes sense here. Maybe I should go ahead and come down a little early also. So I haven't seen Asbill come down pit road yet. I have a feeling he's doing kind of the opposite thing at this point. If he hasn't come yet, then he's probably going to do the 2-tire thing, Pete. I think he probably has practiced that and feels pretty good with that. And will save himself about 7 seconds on pit road versus Fatless. But I'm not sure which strategy is going to work out better here, Pete. So it'll be interesting to see for this kind of meaningless stage 1.
Well, trying to catch up with that 8 truck right now, and actually there he is. We just went 1 too far. Let's go back. There we go. All right, so
yeah,
he's actually coming out of pit road right now, trying to whoa it up from about $1.50 or so down to about 50 miles an hour. So now we'll have to see just how much of a gap, if any, that this gives the 75 as he's just now crossing the stripe and Asbill is pulling into right into his pit. So Fatless has a little bit of traffic right in front of him. I think it's going to be the 17 of Spurl. Spurl will pull him down the backstretch all the way through 3 and 4, and right about the time that they come flashing by, I think that's where we're going to see any kind of gap or any kind of time.
Oh, he's going to get him. He's going to get him, Pete. He's already off of 4, Fatless, or Asbill's just now starting to creep off of pit road. And, yeah, he must have done 4 tires, but you can see Fatless is already by him, already going to start stretching this thing out. So, depending on how many laps are left. I also want to point out Watt Racing came in right there behind Asbill, too. So, they came in on the same stop. Looked like they were doing the same strategy. And let's see, and it looks like Watts exiting pit road now too. So I believe that completes this cycle of green flag pit stops, unless there's something we missed here. But it looks like everyone did 4 tires that I can tell, and now it's just a matter of can Asbill chase down Fatlis, who got himself a good 2.5, 3 second cushion on him, it looks like, by splitting it in thirds here.
Well, we missed something somewhere because according to Cowboy Stream, the leader right now is going into 3 and 4, and it's not the 75. 75 is running a normal truck, not a custom, where the leader should be coming across the start stripe. I'm wondering if it might be
Swats is just now hitting pit road, Pete. So I have a feel. I think it was him.
Okay.
So he just now hit pit road. He's coming down. So if the leader's on pit road, then it was Swats.
Yep. More than likely, you're 100% right. And pretty good battle here between the 33 and the 88 going down backstretch, heading into 3 and 4. And let's see at the line. Still watching to see who passes the 51 of Swats before he makes his way off of pit road. Yep, it's going to be that 75 of Fatlis Dig. So let's kind of see just how much of a lead Fatlis has over that 8. Not much, because the 8's been.
It is shrinking.
Yes, it is.
I can tell you right now, 4, 5, 6 lap pressure tires. I mean, you're going to be making up 2-3 tenths a lap here. So once Asbill gets into his draft, which it looks like he has it now, it's just going to be a matter of sucking up on him, taking that run, making a nice clean move, and saying adios. But still, I think it's a good strategy for Fatlis. I mean, got to try some different stuff, you know what I mean? Especially if, you want to try and beat these guys who are championship contenders, but not necessarily beat on them. A good way to try and beat them is just get a little off strategy and execute in a way that maybe they didn't figure out or weren't thinking of.
Yep, 8 is going to go ahead and try the outside of the 75, cross the line that time. That's going to be 3 to go. 75 down low, 8 kind of running that middle line. 8 keeping that 75 pinch down. 75, a little bit of a side draft. Going to try to pull the 8 back, but no dice. 8 was just too strong, too much momentum coming off that middle line. Move the 8 of Asbill back to the point. 75 of Fatlis Dig back to P2. I'm actually going to go ahead and streams over to Swats to see if I can get a position track on the rest of the field. No, it doesn't look like he has it. Everybody paying a whole lot of attention to their equipment rather than anything else. What the positions are. So, man, I can't blame with how much of a premium tires are here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Man, they got to take care of themselves first.
Yep. That's right, Pete. That was a good, strong move there by Asbill on the outside, kind of making a liar out of me from the pre-race. But, yeah, when you have 4, 5, 6 lap pressure tires, you can kind of make that high side work just the way he did. When you have someone like Fatlis who you can trust down there on the bottom to allow you to pinch him and not slide up into you. And looks like maybe the stage just ended, Pete, or did we have a caution here? Good battle between Watt and Trippy, by the way, coming to the line there. That was good. I think Watt Racing just barely got him.
Yep. That was the end of the stage. And I tell you what, that stage came at perfect timing because just as it did, the front right of that 18 truck kind of let go. So first is going to be Asbill, Fatlis Dig, Trip, Watt Racing, Lil Tank, NNR, Spurl, Alpha York, Cowboy, Swats, and Papa Bear. Swats and Papa Bear both ended up losing a lap. But, overall pretty good. And Bowling, yeah, man, I agree with you 100%. Man, he is good at pinching guys down without making contact and not losing speed. It's a hard skill to perfect. One guy that's really, really good at that is a More Smoke. That man can drag you back like nobody's business and not even touch you.
Yeah, Moore he has perfected that at mini tracks. I remember he did that to me going into turn 1 at Pocono, and it did not work out well for either of us. And I had to be like, dude, you're just better than me. I can't hold it down there when you're pinching me. So that was kind of funny when we were practicing once. But yeah, man, some of these guys have really got that figured out. But like I said, it's a lot easier when you're on 4 or 5 lap pressure tires than the guy in front of you. and certain tracks will allow that. Atlanta being one of them for sure, where the tire wear matters a lot.
Well, talking about fresh tires, here we are back under green. Start of stage 2. 8 is going to jump out to the lead. 33 a trip. Then it's going to be the 75. I'm going to go back here just a little bit. 88's fighting with the 18 and the 5. 5 is now moved up to P3. It looks like Papa Bear might have forgot to pit. He's going to go ahead and take that 90 machine down pit road right now. Everybody's jumbled back up, all racked and stacked, ready to roll. They want to get this in the books, and of course those top 4, they want to be the one to hoist that trophy, or that virtual trophy if we're getting technical all about it. But nah, man, these guys deserve whatever they get.
Yep, and these guys, you can tell this is the start of stage 2 because they got some adjustments in. Everyone got single filed out really quickly. Nobody wants to lose touch with the leaders here, battling for 5th or 6th. Something to keep an eye on, Pete, is going to be if there are any late restarts, in this race or any restarts in general. It sucks restarting on the outside here. It's really a disadvantage, obviously, with certain tracks within this game. You'd much rather be 3rd or 5th than 2nd or 4th, and this track is no exception to that rule in my experience. So it'll be interesting to see. Hopefully nobody, has their chances get ruined because, they're running in 2nd right behind the leader and end up, getting a caution with 5 to go or something like that and dropping kind of through the field, getting stuck there. But just something to take note of, Pete. I wouldn't be that's something I want to keep my eye on if we do have any cautions down the stretch.
Yeah, it absolutely is. It's kind of like starting on the outside of a place like Chicago or Vegas or somewhere like that. Again, a predominantly lower groove track, but also places where that high line can come in and definitely help you out. I was just watching the 88 of Watt Racing. He restarted in like 4th or 5th. It was either on that high. I'm pretty sure he actually restarted in 4th, and he's been able to work his way on by the 25 rather, and also the 5 truck of Little Tank. Right now he's running in P right behind Tripp and Asbel, really keeping track of these guys. He was able to kind of sneak his way under that 25, kind of the style racing that we saw between you and Asbel during the Xfinity Series Championship race, as top 3 right now showing very different lines. 3 wide almost.
Yeah, this is some great racing here, and I think Watt's looking to make a statement early that, hey, you guys might have gotten away from me a little bit in stage 1, but that's not happening in stage 2. And I think, like Alpha, I think he's, not going to try to put a block on a guy who's racing for a championship, let alone, we're once again in stage 2 is Tripp roughing up Asbel a little bit going into 1. Once again, I mean, these are the things you're trying to figure out right now, Pete. I mean, these guys want to race each other hard, but they also want to see what they can and can't get away with. They want to set a tone against one another for how they're going to approach these corner entries because it's just so easy to throw your nose, in a situation that puts a guy in a bad spot. So I think they're all just trying to figure that out right now, and hopefully cooler heads are prevailing here. And you can see Watt there a little bit, but, once again, he lifts out of it. And as you can see, that's what I was talking about. His truck kind of pushes up there, Pete, in the middle of 1 and 2. He just got to the bumper, and the cars just want to slide when that happens here. You're not going to hurt the guy in front of you, hit him square, but you're definitely gonna mess up the rest of your corner doing that.
Well, I think this 8 truck of Asbel, he's going to hunt all over. He is shoving that 33 all the way down the front stretch heading into 1 and 2. He wanted to make him get into that corner a little hot, where it looks like 33 is going to drift up just a little bit. 8 of Asbel's going to try to go ahead and turn on down. No luck right there, but here comes the 88. He's going to try to pull underneath, pull it down low. He's got the 5 of Little Tank right behind him. 1st through 4th are all championship contenders. Then behind them,
look at Little Tank.
Trucks. You got 75, you have the 18, and it looked like the 51 of Swats.
Yeah, this is fun, man. These guys, like I said, right now they're just kind of figuring out a nice move by Little Tank, kind of a little higher entry, and then was able to turn it down below Watt Racing there as they head down into turn 3. But yeah, I mean, this is what they're figuring out, man, what sort of runs can I get on these guys? What sort of moves can I make that and it's Watt's kind of in the wall there a little bit. He'll recover though. It didn't look like he hit it too hard, so he's gonna latch back on to Fatless here at the tail end of this thing. And once again, maybe whatever happened there, whatever he tried there, once again he can take that out of the playbook and not be tempted to make that move, down the stretch and do something else that's worked a little better for him. You know what I mean?
Yep, looks like 25 Alpha York might got a little loose right there. Made a little contact with the left-hand side of that 88 of Watt Racing. Now falling back to about P6 or P7. 33 of Trippy still in the lead. 8 Truck of Asbel hot on his tail. Then the 5 of Lil Tank. And I think that's 75 Fatless Dig now running P4.
Yeah, Fatless just kind of, he's cruising there. It looks like he's running P6. Is that the Cowboys in P4, I believe. So he's, keeping his nose clean. Just kind of keeping his nose clean. And as you can see, Little Tank slipped up a little bit there. That's something that's easy to do here too, Pete, is, you want to run low, but sometimes you clip that apron coming out of 4. There's a little bump there on the bottom that can get you all messed up. So, like I said, these guys are racing really, really hard right now because they want to know what they can and can't do or if they need to make any adjustments.
I'm really impressed with this 88 right now. He actually just made a pass on the outside of the 25 of Alpha York. And it looks like he's going to go ahead and keep on going, as it looks like the 18 is going to go ahead and head on down pit road. Little squirrely pulling in, blowing it up to about 45 miles per hour. I thought it was 50 earlier, but it looks like they're going to have about 25 laps remaining in stage 2, and on a full tank they've got 22. So everybody will either have to try to save a little fuel if they can go all the way on those tires. We can't forget about that part of it, or they're just going to have to go all out and make one more stop before the end of the stage.
Yep, and Trippy's hitting pit road now as well, so he went one more lap there. But, yeah, I think most of these guys are just going to go ahead and do this in 2 stops as well, Pete. I think that's kind of what they've settled on and decided that, even if you can save, it's maybe not worth it too much. But Asbel kind of lost his drafting partner there with Trippy, so we'll see if Watt Racing, and it looks like Alpha York just signaled that he's going to pit here too, so looks like Watt and Alpha both low, and here they come. Here comes Alpha at least.
Yeah, I have a feeling something happened with the 88 right there. He wanted to go down pit road, but realized he was just a little too hot and decided to stay on track. Or maybe he thought that the 25 Alpha York was just too close and didn't want to end up having a caboose. So he decided to stay on track and work another lap. I think we might see the same thing here, unless he feels that the 17 is too close to his entry.
Yeah, well, that's pretty smart heads-up driving by on his part, and I have a feeling he might have just missed the pit road box here. Yeah, he's speeding through, but once again, it's stage 2. It's the right time to do it. Even practicing getting on the pit road as hard as you can and messing up here is not the end of the world. Except now he's sideways. I hope he didn't blow a tire, man.
Coming across the track.
So he needs to try and get it to pit road still here as quick as possible. I'm afraid he might have blown a tire, and that's why he's kind of struggling here, trying to get to pit road. But as long as he can keep it 1 lap down, this isn't going to necessarily kill him. He's moving pretty good down the backstretch. Well, this is definitely something we got to keep an eye on here, Pete, for where he's at compared to leaders and whether he goes 1 or 2 laps.
Yeah, I'm almost wondering if he didn't actually pop that right front at just as he was trying to get down on the pit road. That's why it didn't actually bite and get him underneath the commitment cone, because he is absolutely struggling. And when we came back green for stage 2, both Papa Bear and Swats were also 1 lap down. So he's going to have competition for that lucky dog. We'll have to see how it fares out here. And as Cowboy comes to the start stripe right there, it looks like we have 20 laps left here in stage 2. 1 more stage till we crown the 2020 NNR Truck Series champ. Definitely want to thank everybody that's out there in chat. Appreciate y'all coming out, hanging out, chatting it up. Man, it's been a phenomenal year for all three series here in NNR, and man, I'm already looking forward to the 2021 season. Find out what changes Coe and his other admins have, or what changes they have in mind rather for the two series that'll run next year. They did verify that will only run either Cup and Xfinity or Cup and Truck. They didn't say what nights yet. I know some people really hoping that there's certain nights than others. Like for example, the 88 of Watt Racing. He's hoping that they'll stick with Sunday nights, even if it is Xfinity. And
Pete,
there's others
they're
hoping the same as well.
sorry, don't mean to cut you off here, but there's 4 guys racing really hard for the lead right now. Actually,
Yep.
5. They're beating and banging off one another. Little Tank kind of got into Trippy a little bit, and then Trippy, and then Cowboy got into Trippy a little bit there. And now there's contact with Fatless. Some guys on newer tires, some guys on older tires. Asbill was able to kind of get clear of these guys and maintain the lead. But also something we wanted to keep an eye on. I noticed Watt Racing is only 1 lap down, so he was able to come down, survive everything that happened there, getting on the pit road. He's able to get his service, and now he's about 2 seconds in front of Asbill, still 1 lap down. If he can just keep himself right there, he might be okay to start stage 3 on the lead lap. But the one thing I don't know, because we don't have the tools, and I feel your pain, Pete, but we're not sure. I mean, hypothetically, either Swats or Papa Bear should have gotten the lucky dog the last caution, right?
Yeah, it probably would have been Swats. Yeah.
Okay, so it's possible, and we don't know if they got a pit road penalty or why it was they went a lap down the last stage, but if, whoever didn't get their lucky dog goes the second lap down here, that would leave, Watt Racing as the only guy 1 lap down. But I'm going to try to figure this out, Pete. You take it away here for a second, and I'm going to see if I can't figure out who Watt Racing is trying to catch here to get his lap back at the start of stage 3, because that's a huge, huge thing going into this championship four's last stage here as far as who's going to have a shot.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's really it could be detrimental to Watt actually going back to back as champion. The NNR it's very very rare for these guys to have other than stage cautions. So yeah, that could be very important.
Absolutely. So I kind of see where, Swats and Papa Bear are. Unfortunately, I don't know for a fact which one got it, but I can tell you this much. Watt Racing is pretty far back. He's about a half a lap behind Papa Bear, and it's even more to NNR Swats. So I don't think he's going to be able to make up that much time on those guys. Like I said, I think they must have had an issue in stage 1 where they got a lap down, because they certainly weren't that much slower than the field that they would have just gotten a lap down without an issue. So Watt Racing definitely just got to keep after it here. Hope he gets a caution, before the end of this stage or sometime in stage 3, I think.
Yeah, I mean it's really gonna unless it breaks the norm, and we have some kind of an accident. I mean, you take last week's Xfinity series race for an example. There were a couple of cautions in there, very untimely. Came at the very end of the race, and it bunched everybody back up and put you and Asbel and Fatless and Parsable all in very, very close proximity to each other. And Asbel ended up, kind of squeaking away with that championship.
Yeah, to be fair, it was kind of a pit road issue that even got those guys back there. So, cautions happen. It's part of racing. You got to be prepared for any situation. And, fortunately, we just happened to be kind of out in front of all the chaos that happened to come to pit road, but easily could have been caught up in it as well. And, I'm kind of glad a caution came out there, even though ultimately I finished second. It's more fun to race the guys for it and battle it out that way than have someone's chances get screwed up by a pit road mistake or somebody else's pit road mistake.
Yep, battle here between the 33 of Tripp and the 5 of Lil Tank. Behind these guys, it looks like it's going to be the 17 of Spurl And a 25, oh, Alpha York. Speaking of Alpha York on the American Ethanol Cup Series, I will actually be broadcasting their Fast Family bracket race coming up here, I think in like, was it 3 days? I think it's the 29th, if I'm not mistaken. So definitely be sure to keep an eye out for that. Follow me on Twitter, follow Fast Family, follow Atlanta Racing, and I am Rick James 36. You'll see all the details. Not quite sure yet who will be joining me in the booth, but I do know that American Ethanol will have a very, very good chance at winning that. They've got some pretty stout drivers in their roster, including the 8 truck of Aswell, which has been very, very fast here tonight. Definitely looking to absolutely challenge that 88 of Watt Racing.
Yeah, there's a lot of really good teams out there in Alpha York. His team definitely one of them with the American Ethanol. So I'm not sure when their first race is. I think it's coming up sometime this week. But Pete, man, great job broadcasting that. The other night, that was you never know. You and Atlanta Racing were doing that for the first time together. So it's really cool that you and all the other broadcasters and all the effort everyone's putting into that. I mean, it seems like it's been a really big success so far. So kudos, man.
Yeah, the first night was Atlanta Racing. I am Rick James and myself in the booth. First time either of us ever spoke with each other, cutting up in the beginning, kind of getting used to the ways, kind of setting up a little bit of a cadence. And then last night, Frozen Toes, J-Mac, and Ace Petty broadcast the E-Spark race, which they ended up going on and winning that. The first night, NNR won, and then last night, NAOR won after the other team was disqualified for one of their guys rough driving. And then when he was told to go down pit road or park it, he refused. And when they told him again, he actually just decided he was going to run his way through the field and just started wrecking people. So NAOR, even though they were strong, Stout Whiskey running very, very quick, he led stage 1. It would have been great to see how that fared, and the team that went against NAOR was very apologetic, and man, I feel for the rest of the team. How the actions of one person, took the rest of them out of it.
Yeah, man, plain selfish, no fun, not what anyone wants to see or be a part of. I didn't see it. This is the first I'm hearing about it, but. That stinks for everyone who puts effort into it. One guy can be selfish and, ruin what would otherwise be a lot of fun for a bunch of other people. But, hey, it happens. It's video games, man.
Right.
There's, things happen. Guys go full tilt, and, unfortunately that can be a part of it sometimes. Do you mind sending me another invite? I actually didn't use your air this time. I just got disconnected randomly. So,
yep. Right now.
Sitting on the sidelines again here. Yeah, if you don't mind.
There you go. All right.
Hey, Pete, you got a copy?
Coey! What's happening, sir? How are you?
I'm doing great, sir. I've been trying to... You guys haven't stopped talking, so I've basically been here almost the whole race.
Yeah,
I just got blown up. I wanted to keep my mouth shut, but I was saying that Swats looked like he was really trying to change his tire strategy and was just about taking the lead. And now he just got wrecked into the pit, so I guess that strategy's going to be out the window.
Yeah,
but he's been definitely saving those tires.
Yep, same thing happened with Tripp right there. He made some pretty hard contact with the wall going into the corner. Right now, he's got a pretty good fight with the 18 of Cowboy. Cowboy up high, 33 down low. 33 looks like nope, he's not going to pit right there. Just really, really hugging that grass line going through the tri-oval. Boehner, can you send Coey an invite, please?
I'm already in here.
Oh, are you?
Okay.
Cool.
I've been here the whole time.
Where did you get an invite?
I got it from Swats. I went and talked to the drivers before the race.
Coey, you gotta just jump in and tell us to shut up. Feel free anytime.
Yeah, I'm just letting the guys do their thing.
You've been yelling at me in HD all season. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm not howling anymore. I'm gonna be very quiet.
2 more laps to go. Judging by Cowboys, the leader right now should be going through 3 and 4, and I think it's going to be this 8 truck of Asbel. He's got the 88 of Watt Racing right there with him, but I think that is actually that could be a second lap down for Watt. Yeah, Watt actually. I'm not 100. No, right now Watt Racing is showing in P8. So this is the last lap. 8 coming to the line, 88, and then the 95 old Pop there. So we'll have to see. Yep. Again, Cowboy is a lap down, so this should be it right here. Yep, that's it.
Yeah,
okay.
This is.
Yeah, Swats just dropped to 9th.
This is going to be tough, guys, on Watt Racing, because I agree, Pete. I'm pretty sure he just went a second lap down. I'm sure Asbel did everything he could to try and catch him and get by him there with a little fresher tires. And I mean, it looks like I don't know. What do you guys do? Do you stay out?
It looks like Watt's going to get his lap back.
Oh, okay. There we go.
Yep. Watt was able to get by.
Yeah, he's
Swats.
only
I
one
guess
lap down.
Watts had that problem getting onto pit road. Yeah.
Wait, sorry. Are you guys saying Swats or Watt?
SWAT.
Watt.
When Swats had a problem getting onto pit road, it looks like Watt Racing was able to get on by. Either that or Cowboy was the first truck 1 lap down, and he just got it back. I'm not 100% sure. We'll have to see how they line up. Cowboys' lead word is kind of bolded and highlighted on his stream.
Now free pass for Watt.
Yep, there
All
it
right,
is.
there we go.
Watt is back on the lead lap. He's got another chance.
Yep, so here we go, guys. Coey, good. Again, great to hear you up here. It's going to be the 875, 25 of Alpha York, and the 17 of Spurl. Spurl's going to fall back. There's that highline curse that you were talking about a little bit ago there, Boehner. So bottom line's going to prevail going through 1 and 2. Everybody in a long train going down the backstretch. 75 is going to try to duck under the 8. Going through 3 and 4. 5, a little tank's going to go ahead and follow him on through. And 33 is going to try to fill that hole as well.
Yeah, it looks like Fat Liz is going to go
leader.
ahead and take the lead there. It looks like Little Tank's kind of stuck on the outside here. Trippy, and then as you can see, Watt Racing already back in the thick of it. So once again, you never want to make a mistake coming to pit road, but now he knows where that limit is. So, you know, maybe that's something that he just breaks a little bit sooner, and he can get on there perfect the rest of the way here.
Yeah, I mean that free pass for Watt Racing really absolutely saved any and all chance that he had at getting back up to the front and fighting for his second or back-to-back championship possibilities. If he didn't, with the few amount of guys that's here and the likelihood of a caution coming out with these truckers being so slim, I think that really just saved all of his chances. Robbie 318, the one and only Pop Bear, he's sitting in the back right here. Let's see, I'll find him for you. There he is. Pop Bear's rocking the 90 and has all season long. It kind of looks like he's gone ahead and taken up with the original color that he started with this year, the old John Deere or forest green. Pop Bear's been a trooper all season. So, yeah, and I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what Pop Bear is going to be capable of next year. He said to me the other day he's glad to call NNR home, so I'm sure he'll be back in 2021. Stout Whiskey, what's happening, sir? How are you?
I'm really surprised what's going on with Watt. With all his practice that he was doing to sit back that far. I wonder if he's just trying to save a little bit.
He might be. We've seen at least, what would you say, Boehner, 2, maybe 3 pop tires in between stage 1 and stage 2. I think that's actually what caused Watt Racing to miss his pit stall in stage 2. So he might be taking it easy, just kind of waiting until he has to really get up and go. You know, Coey, in the last race, stage points mean absolutely nothing. There's no bonus points, no nothing at all. It's kind of winner take all, or if you're like right now, if the 75 was able to work his way back on by the 8 or back on by the 33, and the 8 or the 33 came in second, they'd win the championship just by being just by virtue of being in the run for the cup. Let's see. Stout saying, shoot Coey up in a booth too. Yep, absolutely is. Robbie saying he's
What's up, Stout, buddy boy?
The league that I'm racing in, ready to race with him. Yep, you must be referring to that turn down for what racing. Yep, I've heard all about it. He's going to be a great league owner. I know that he got a lot of suggestions from the guy right here in the booth with me, the one and only NNR Coey, on how to do it. He asked if he could take some of the rules from NNR's rule book and adopt it to his own. And Coey said, "Yeah, go for it." And yeah, it's he's gonna do very well as a league or a community owner.
Absolutely, he's a hell of a guy.
Yeah, I hate to break it to you guys, but it looks like, unless there's some saving going on, Asbill's starting to stretch his legs out a little bit over Tripp and Little Tank, and he's getting to a point now where that draft's not gonna help Tripp suck back up to him. So it does seem like, I agree with you, Coey. It seems like maybe Watt's saving a little bit here. I know the
seems like he's trying something.
Yeah, Cowboy was really getting to his bumper. Looked like a little bit easier than if he was going full blast. So it's hard to say.
Yeah, as I was watching Swatz's video, I mean, he was able to save about 20% more tires than the rest of the guys. Now, if Watt's doing something like that, it could be possible that he's trying to do some kind of strategy here.
Yeah, and I thought coming into this race that there wouldn't be much strategy for this final stage, but I didn't do extensive research or hop on the track in a truck for more than a few laps. So I don't really know if these guys have figured something out or not, as far as being able to save tires. But once again, I mean, if it's anything like the Xfinity car, I mean, it was hard to save anything. So I don't know, maybe the trucks are a little bit different.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, right now we got Cowboys down to about 19% on his left front, and Swats is at 21 and 23. So actually looks like he's wearing his tires a little bit harder this time, but he was about 20% most of the race higher than the rest of the guys.
Yeah, I think these guys are just going for it right now, and I just think maybe Watt had his car a little bit tighter there for a little while, but. Asbill's not really driving too far away from these guys, so I think everyone's going full speed. A lot of this is just going to depend on how you get it on and off pit road, I think.
Well, Boehner got a little bit of a question in chat that maybe you'd be best to answer. Robbie318 wants to know any tips on tire pressure to keep my tire from turning sideways in the corner for the Cup cars.
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming you're talking about presets, and in which case, throw yourself in there a preset 4, and you can move the tires up a little bit. But just so you know, the more you increase your tire pressures on the right side, the more grip your lefts are going to have versus your rights, and a little bit more speed you're going to be able to carry. So it kind of helps the car rotate, especially on the 1.5 miles. That being said, you might want to go up a couple clicks with the wedge as well. But kind of depends on the track and the preset. But in general, going up on tire pressures will increase the speed, but you'll lose a little bit of grip. So kind of want to flirt around with that to see what works best for you.
There you go, Robbie. Straight from
you got a trip on the trips on the pit road now.
Yep, right along with the 33 of the 75 of Fatless Dig, and I think that's 17 of Spurl as well.
Correct. Yeah, so we're starting to see a little strategy. Nasbille staying out there for another lap at least.
Yeah, I think.
Go ahead.
Sorry about that, Pete. I was just going to say, I think Asbill, knowing with a little bit of a cushion here, he's going to stretch it a little bit further, and he's probably going to want to keep himself in a situation.
Oh, we got Swats around. Swats is around.
Tires. Ooh.
Swats just blew his tires. I don't know if we're going to get a caution here or not.
Well, we got 3 guys on pit road, and if the caution does come out, that's going to benefit them.
Well, it looks like this is going to be in the Swats tonight because he is really in trouble.
Yep, many people have actually just blown right on by. This is going to be really bad for Swats. That is the wrong.
Oh no, Swats is coming up on the track. Oh.
Yeah, he's trying to
Swats is trying to get this car around. He's got both right sides are blown.
Well, if a caution does come out, it's going to be great for the 88 because everybody else, 88 and the 8 are both on pit road, and they're going to come out somewhat close to each other as well. Asbill will be able to hit the track first. 88 just now coming to the line to where he can start jamming up through those gears. Both of those guys on wheels, on shifters, taking advantage of every little bit that they can get, working their way up through the RPM, really watching the tack to get the most horsepower out of them. Asbill's clearly up and away from the 88 of Watt Racing now.
Yeah, he made it to pit road.
Didn't quite see, but I think Watt may have had an issue exiting pit road or entering because he did lose quite a bit of time there. Maybe he had some damage or something that he had to get repaired, but it looks like even compared to like Tripp and Alpha and Cowboy, he's kind of lost touch of that pack of 5 and then Asbill, which would be the 6 car, so he's back in 7 now.
A little bit of a battle closer to mid-pack. 75 of Fatless Dig able to work his way on by the 18 of Cowboy. Looks like the 17 of Spurl's going to try to do the same thing. Nope, thought better of it. Stuck right behind the 18. A little bit of a shot there going into 1 and 2. 17 down low. 18 right in that middle line, but just free enough to where he didn't have to worry about running up close to that wall. Side by side, going down the backstretch into 3 and 4. All this happening right behind the 17 of Spurl. Good to see Spurl back on track too. I'm sorry, that was the
Absolutely.
of Spurl. That was that was the 25 of Alfie work. Excuse me. 17 of Spurl's rocking ally color.
Well, Tripp's up to second place, back in the second, so he's trying to put a battle on to Asbill, but still got a lot of room to make up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be hard for him to do that too without having someone up there pushing him or you know what I mean. 2 trucks can work
he's
together
got 2
a little
coming.
bit. Yeah, I think they're just a little too far back to be able to make up that time with Asbill pitting a little after these guys too. That's going to be tough.
Yep. And Watt's really all alone back there, so he is really kind of out of contention at the moment. He really needs a caution.
So, Coey, I guess I don't mean to put you on the spot. If you could just say, hey, we haven't thought about it yet. Any idea as to what the race nights will be for next season?
No.
Fair enough. I thought maybe.
No, I mean, I know couple definitely still be. Cup and Xfinity still be on the nights, same nights. We're still deciding what we're going to do with trucks, if they're going to come back or if we're going to change the day or what. But as of right now, Xfinity and Cup will be Tuesdays and Thursdays as they have been.
Okay. All right. Well, there you go. Because I know I think Bowling was out there earlier. He says, I forget how the conversation was going, but hopefully Xfinity stays on Tuesday nights because my Thursdays are unavailable, so I won't be joining Cup unless they move the night. So it sounds like Bowling is ready, able, and willing to return if Xfinity stays on Tuesday night. And if that sounds like the plan as it is right now, well, I'm sure that suits him just fine.
That will be fine. He'll be able to keep running in Xfinity.
Yeah, he won like 6 races this year too, so he'll probably be a real force to be reckoned with there on Tuesday nights once again next year. That'll be fun.
Yeah, they have a good chance to lead the way in the Xfinity next season if a lot of these guys make it their way up to Cup that are in Xfinity now.
Yep,
Yes,
I think as much as I like Asbel, he needs to go to Cup and get against some stiffer competition because he has stunk up the trucks. And I think there's actually something in the rules where if they go on some kind of a certain tear, they have to move up. But I don't think his Thursday nights were free, so he wasn't able to make the same jump that Boehner made. But yeah, Asbel, he's just been a dominant force in these trucks. He's done very well in Xfinity against Boehner and Parsville and Fatless Dig and Bowling and several others. So it's man, I think next year's Cup rookie class is going to be phenomenal to watch, Kobe.
It's going to be interesting. I mean, as we brought some guys up this past season, we had some issues, and some of these guys are going to have to get used to racing with these Cup guys. But I think we give them some time, and some of the Cup guys are a little bit patient. Things will work out fine.
I'm
go ahead.
Sorry, Pete. I was going to say I was lucky enough to race in both series for most of the year, and I can't wait for some of the Xfinity guys to come up to Cup. I know they'll run really well and competitively, and probably have a blast up there as well. So yeah, I mean, full series and NNR are so competitive, but so much fun.
Robbie's saying, are we going to Heat 5 next year? Because I would like to do Truck Series with y'all, but I don't have Heat 4. Yes, absolutely. Heat 5 will be the place for NNR. It's pretty much been the way that it's gone ever since I've kind of kept up with NNR before I started broadcasting. Heat 2 to Heat 3, Heat 3 to Heat 4, and yeah, it'll be the same thing, Heat 4 to Heat 5 for the next season. I guess that'll start up in about 6 weeks, give or take. But Coey, something I mentioned to Boehner earlier in the broadcast. This whole Fast Family bracket or competition that's going on right now, because it's all presets. We're really getting a glimpse at some of the people that are very, very fast on these presets. It's also giving us the opportunity to scout out some great guys that could very well fit into the NNR mold when we start next season. Stout was talking about a couple of guys that were very, very fast last night as part of that Checkers organization. Have you done any scouting yet, or just kind of waiting, taking some time off? We just ran the Cup race on Thursday night. Are you just going to wait and take some time off, or are you already actively looking?
I'm definitely prepared, as I told most of our guys, at least in Cup so far. I'm taking like a 2-week blackout. After that, we'll come back and start recruiting. We have some guys that I talked to in the Fast Family Showdown, and I know Stout has, and yeah, we definitely have a few guys already lined up, and we'll start doing tryouts again and see where we think these guys need to be placed as we talk to between me, Stout, and some of the admins, Boehner being one of them, and you, Pete, as well, and we'll start deciding where these people need to go.
Yeah, it's I mean, it will absolutely be kind of like a puzzle. Hook Jr. 91's looking for an update on the one and only Watt Racing. Let's go ahead and find Watt. Watt is actually taking it down pit road right now. He has not had the truck that I know he'd wish he thought he might have. He's also kind of had some guys get under him into the corners and force him up, made him lose not only a little bit of time, but also some track position. If you get up on that high line, you cannot keep the throttle down because it gets too tight up there, where the bottom is really where you want to be. You see him pull in right behind the 8 truck right now of Asbel, but Asbel's been on pit road a whole lot longer than he has. In fact, there goes the 8 truck. He's going to pull on out. Watt probably still has another 10 seconds, I would imagine, before he exits. There you go. So as you see, the truck of Asbel really round the corner through 1 and 2. At Watt Racing is just now getting up through the gears. I would imagine by the time Watt makes it back and merges into the onto the backstretch, the 8 truck's going to be going in through 3 and 4 already. Yeah, there you go. So Watt is definitely quite a bit further back. But thanks for keeping tabs. I know Watt would definitely appreciate it. Robbie also wants to know, how do I select a preset for Cup in Heat 5? And just call me Robbie. All right, Robbie. Well, bud, that's kind of all about your own feel. If you like a looser car, if you run a wheel and you can control it, and you don't want to have to make a whole lot of adjustments, rather than just maybe snugging it up a little bit for the longer run, you can go on a higher preset. Or if you like a pretty neutral setup and you want to free it up as you go, you probably want to start a little bit lower on the preset. Again, that's something more for Boehner, but yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. I'm going to continue to work our way through the field. You're welcome, Hook Jr. Looks like Alpha's a little wicked loose right now. Either that or just a little bit of instability in the lobby. Again, want to thank everybody that's out here keeping up with us. This is the championship race for the NNR Truck Series for 2020. After this, like you just heard, Coey, it's going to be about a good 6-week hiatus for NNR. But during that time, absolutely make sure that you keep up with everything happening with this fast family competition. NNR went and pretty much secured their position into round 2 with a round 1 win. And they did it in pretty dominant fashion. Everybody in NNR ended up in the top 7. I think 8th place went to Rusty Walrus. But a more smoke, he went on and grabbed that win. It definitely a very, very strong statement by NNR. Then E-Spark won race 2, and then NAOR won race 3. Haven't been able to keep up with tonight yet.
Wanted to hop back in here, Pete, real quick. So something happened to Little Tank, and I'm not sure exactly what did, if he got a speeding penalty or got involved in an incident. I don't see any damage on the truck. But it looks like he is only about 2, 3, 4 seconds ahead of... Yeah, he's back there. In fact, I think that might be... No, that's Papa Bear. Anyways, he's got about a straightaway on Asbel right now, and so something must have happened.
Gotcha. So another contender. One thing that Asbel's been able to set himself apart with is mistakes on the track. He's very, very consistent. He runs his practice laps, gets them tuned up, knows what he wants out of his car or out of his truck, and he comes prepared every single week. And right now, he's up front. You talk about Little Tank having some kind of an issue. He went from running within the top 4 back to about P7, and it looks like we've actually come to 10 to go. That's kind of going by pretty quick.
Yeah, I don't think there's any more pit stops here, Pete. I think everyone's got what they got from here. And Asbel has about a straightaway, to NNR Trip, who I believe is running in second right now. And then Watt Racing has just been doing a hell of a job trying to run down these guys in front of him. He's actually moved up into 5th here, and he's trying to suck up on Fatless right now. It looks like he's not quite in his draft, but he's at least going to go try to chase down Fatless, Alpha York here in Trip and see if he can't put himself in second in case Asbel does have an issue.
Yeah, right now, definitely see where Watt's at behind this the 75 Fatless dig. Fatless looks like he got a pretty poor entry into 1 and 2. That allowed Watt Racing to close up just a little bit more. Definitely in the draft of that 75 truck. Now going down the backstretch into 3 and 4. You can see Tripp and the 17 of Spurl right in front of him. So you mentioned that he's in P5. Well, there's 3 spots right ahead of him. but Asbel is nowhere to be seen. He is completely checked out. Unless the caution comes out, Watt's really gonna. He might be, if trucks come back next year, he might have to just wait for 2021 to try to go for his second championship.
That's right. And you saw Fatless, he just kind of moved over there and let Watt go. So, essentially he's going to kind of let Watt try to go battle it out for Tripp here, I think, for this second place. And it's kind of interesting because Tripp just let Alpha go. So I'm not sure if Tripp's trying to save some fuel or some tire here. I guess it wouldn't be fuel, but not sure if he short pitted a little bit and now is trying to limp it home. I wish I kind of knew what exactly the pit situation was here, but Watt is catching him extremely quickly, and Tripp is staying in the middle. Oh, and now he just kind of pulled down right in front of Watt. So looked like he was trying to save his tires for a couple laps there. Now he's back after trying to protect the second position for the championship.
Watt's definitely caught him really quickly, so he must be trying something.
Yeah, I think Tripp, if I'm not mistaken, pit a little bit before Watt and Asbel and everyone else, so he might be cutting it close here on tires.
Yeah, his tires are going down.
Yeah,
good run for Alpha York.
Track there just a little bit. Watt's gonna get a pretty good run to the outside. No, fakes, come back to the inside.
Whoa.
Contact between 88 and
cutting
the
through the grass.
Yep. Boy. Kind of looked like a little bit of a block there that could have gone a whole lot worse. Tripp's kind of lucky if he's blocking right now. Watt's not going to have enough time to catch him. If Watt's faster than Tripp, he can definitely just let him on, let him go. If he's saving or if he's worried about his tire, he doesn't have to. He doesn't have to block. But again, we're talking about a championship position. So it's not like any other race. If Tripp can come in second or third, or actually, this would be second in the championship standings. Man, that's one better than third or two better than fourth. It's all about season-ending points, season-ending position. Somebody, just like Boehner. I mean, he wants to say, I came in second to whoever if I wasn't able to win it. I wasn't a lap down, or I didn't come in third. I came in second. So, but yeah, Watt's trying his.
Yeah, the way our guys race, they definitely going to battle for every position they can get.
Absolutely, it's in their blood.
Yeah, it's just
he's going down low right now.
Throwing
pushes
it
him
into
up.
the corner. That pushed the 33 all the way up.
He's told him up in the wall too.
Yep.
He is not letting him down.
Yep.
There we go. There we go. Oh boy, this is not good. We got a caution.
And it.
Or did the race end?
Nope, that was the race.
The race is over.
Dang it.
That was the end of the race.
Oh man. Oh well. We tried, but yeah.
So that wasn't too bad. He was just going for it.
On your 2020 Truck Series Championship. Alpha York second. Watt Racing. He's going to come in P2 on the season, and Trippy third, and Little Tank fourth.
Great run for Alpha York, man. Great run for Alpha, guys. I don't think we gave him enough credit for racing up there, having a good clean run and finishing second, guys. I mean, that's really hard to do in any. So, huge tip of the cap to him. Great job there.
Absolutely. Alpha's definitely come a long way.
Yeah. No, Watt definitely tried. It'll be interesting to hear their perspective here once they make it to the booth. So I'm going to go ahead and back out of that, bring up our post race, and we're going to get ready to close this season out, Coey. How about that?
Thank God.
Unless
somebody mentioned earlier about us.
Forever.
No, as soon as somebody mentioned about if we go into a state of 4 or 5, I said, as soon as this is over, I am deleting Heat 4 tonight.
Papa Bear, I couldn't agree with you more. Great race by everybody out there. It's good to see you up there and tangling getting caught up with like SWATs and whatnot. So thank you very, very much, Pop Bear, for sticking out the entire year. Congratulations on making it into the top 9. You're a great guy, and actually, Robbie was in here earlier asking where you were. I guess he's kind of excited about your turn down for what community that you got going on. So you got some big plans of your own, Pop Bear. Good luck in that league, and we'll see you next year when we start back up. BWF9 saying second place is the first loser, so shut up, bro. Well, BWF, yeah, you know where you can go. But let's see. All right, I'm going to go ahead and pull back up our chat here. All right, I see Alpha York in there. I see Asbel, Swats, Trip. I'd actually like Swats, can you grab the rest of our championship contenders, please?
Yep.
Thanks.
Don't know if we have anyone. What? I think they're all out of Discord.
Yeah, they might be.
I might be not too happy.
Maybe not.
Oh, well.
Hey, don't be poor sport.
Let's keep the broadcast clean.
All right. Well, while we're waiting for those guys, Trip, you came in third right there, right?
Yeah, for the championship wise, yeah.
All right. Yeah. Might as well. We can roll with that. Well, we saw a pretty good battle. I mean, you were up within the top 4, top 5 most of the race. Great job by you. Great season by you. You started off the season as Trippy Main. You went all throughout the season. You picked up the NNR on the front. Way to show your community pride. Definitely appreciate it, man. Talk us through those last 5 laps or so between you and Watt Racing.
I was just trying to stay ahead of him and also save tires, but I mean, I couldn't do it. I've been practicing all week trying to save it, and I couldn't do it. That's it. It's hard, dude. It's hard.
Well, if you think about the points as they came to close, going between the elimination round and the championship round, is there anything throughout the season that you think has just been that one thorn in your side that you're like, man, if I had only just done this a little differently, or man, if I had this race in the bag, but I screwed up maybe getting on a pit road, or I lost control of a car after freeing it up too much, or is there any part of this season that's been that Achilles heel that you think might have propelled you a little bit further? Maybe that one or two spots.
No, not really. I mean, all season, every time I would get a good truck, I would find some way to screw it myself. So it's a big bummer. Kind of sucks, but I'll be back next year.
Man, I'm glad to hear that. We've been talking about next year here with Coe in the booth as well. Boehner obviously ran a few truck races, ran very, very well in the Xfinity, and came in pretty close in the Cup Series championship as well. But man, it's been a great race for all 3 of us to watch and call. Congratulations on your championship hunt. First year with NNR, and man, you definitely shown that you've got what it takes. Any shout outs from you? Anybody along the season that's kind of helped you out? You want to give a big thank you for?
Yeah, I want to thank Coe for letting me join, and Boehner for helping me get in, and definitely all my teammates at Rick Racing, all of them helping me get better every week.
Well, there you go, man. You like I said, you earned it. They might have helped you get in, but only you can pilot that 33 around the track every week. So there you go.
Yep.
Boehner, you want to take second? You want to go ahead and pick up old Watt?
Yeah, absolutely. And it looks like we had Little Tank join also, Pete, just so you know.
Yep.
So he's in here. Watt Racing, you got me, man.
Yeah, I got you.
Hey, man, good run tonight. Great season. I know it's disappointing from personal experience the last couple races for myself to not quite be able to get the job done, but great rally back up through there. It looks like you put a nice move there to get the second as Trip was kind of saving tires, and you guys had a good battle there on that last lap. But kind of walk us through the race. Tell me a little bit about kind of what happened to come to pit road there, stage 2, and how you were able to recover from that. And yeah, just give us an overall rundown. And once again, congratulations on a great season. P2 is nothing to be sad about. That's for sure.
Well, while it's fresh on my mind, I'm really frustrated with the way Trip raced me there. I ran him down, and I don't know if you guys saw, he threw me down to the grass in the front straightaway, trying to block me, and I was passing him. So that's why that contact happened. The last lap, I wasn't going to let him wrestle me out of at least second place with a coward move. But besides that, I screwed up myself, stage 2. Just entered pit road a little too late. I wasn't speeding or anything like that. Just turned in a little bit later than I should have. I knew that if Asbill caught me, I knew I'd still get the free pass. So I just tried to take a deep breath and not panic. I knew I'd be restarting in the back there, final stage, but I wasn't really worried about getting back to the field. So, yeah, I just was trying to watch the tires, and it was pretty obvious that 4 tires were the way to go. That's the strategy I figured would be going into the race. And then, I was just focused on running Trip down. He was a couple seconds ahead of me, ran him down, then had that last couple lap crap that shouldn't have happened, but I was able to get at least runner up. I think that, nobody's going to think that was a bad move. So just I'm not going to get pushed around, especially coming to line for a final standing, and just kind of annoyed by that. So congrats to Asbill on his championship. Just, I'm not going to, I don't know. I wish that last couple laps didn't happen. That was just ridiculous. It wasn't really a clean finish. So I'm a little irritated by that, but at least if I could win the championship, at least got second.
Yeah, absolutely. And, as far as, any contact there, I mean, it didn't sound like there were any, hard feelings on Trips in when he was interviewing, but obviously it looks like you guys still finished second and third there for the championship. And, obviously we'll let you two guys work that out on the side if you can. And, but all in all, man, like I said, great season. I know it's always frustrating at the end of these deals, man, when you come up a little bit short. Do you think, real quick, I want to get your shout outs, but then also real quick, do you think there was anything you could have done maybe differently there, in that third stage to maybe kind of hang with Asbill? Did the pit sequences go a little funky there where he was able to get away, or
do
you feel like?
Yeah, stage 2 is what screwed me. Basically, if that never would have happened, I probably would have restarted third or fourth or second. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
I would have been up on the front row or two, and I would have hung with Asbill or whoever the hell was leading. So, that was just the consequence to what I did. At least I didn't go lap down, but it took everything to get back, climb up through the field, and at that point, can't do anything about it. So really, I just shouldn't have screwed up pit road. It's just all on me. And if I just restarted up in the front row or two, I think I would have been there. It would have been maybe a clean, fair battle without contact, trying to protect positions.
Yeah. Any shout outs for me, Watt?
Yeah, just shout out to this league, and it's been a good 2 years, and it's been fun to win the championship last year. It was kind of random, got that, and then it was fun playing that role of defending it this year, and I think I had an awesome season. Shout out to all my, I don't really have a team. I've got people that I talk to and try to help other people. So shout out to everybody that I've met. I've raced a lot of people that aren't here now that didn't finish the season out. I've had to race a lot of guys for wins, and it's been fun. I mean, it is some of the best racing online. So, to put the pressure on myself to try to be the best, within at least the truck series has been fun. But I'm very, very relieved that it's over. I'm not mad. I mean, I'm gonna be a little sad that I got runner up, but just shout out to everybody, the competition, Pete. Love watching the broadcast, the next day, and I love your support for all the drivers and the community. It's all awesome. So just shout out to everybody, I guess. That's part of this.
Well, you're talking about some people that you race with and people that you help out. I tell you what, you got a little bit of a fan club out here in chat right now. BWF9 and Hook Junior 91. They've been singing your praises the second half of stage 3. So I'm guessing you know who those guys are. They've been wondering where you're at, what you're doing. They weren't too pleased about that contact between you and Tripp going through the tri-oval off 4 and even a little bit after that. But man, Watt, congratulations. One thing that nobody can take from you in the beginning of this season. You got a shout out from the one and only Kenny Wallace, congratulating you on last year's championship. You right along with Smitty and what you
Aviator.
call it, Aviator. So that's something that none of those nobody else can take from you. So
Yeah, well, that's
congratulations
one
on
of
a
the.
stellar season, sir.
Thank you, and that was one of the things like that. Asbel's going to enjoy that. Obviously, two championships. Like he's going to have that role now, and he's going to get the shout outs, and he's going to get the recognition, and that it's really cool. And I hope that he stays humble and respectful and represents himself well. He's obviously fast on the track, but you got to race clean too. You got to be respectful, and like I said, I'm not trying to beat a dead horse, but that's why that last couple laps happened. I was pretty pissed off that there was contact, and that's why I retaliated a little bit there at the end. I'm gonna move on from it here in about 5 minutes and not care about it anymore. But I hope he enjoys all the benefits and has fun with it because it's pretty cool and humbling to be a champion. So
Well, there you go. Way to keep it classy, man. Congratulations.
thank you very much.
Hey, Watt, I just wanted to say, you've been a great ambassador for winning the series last year and putting on a great show all year. And you did battle it out right to the end. So just want to say a great job to you.
Thank you very much, man. Thank you. Appreciate all you guys.
No problem.
Well, same thing for me. Being a part of Ramrod to begin with the season and stuff like that, running together, talking together, sharing information, trying to help each other. That was probably your biggest fan for most of the season, especially when Asbill started knocking off wins over and over and over and over and over and over and over. And I think I could go on and on and on.
Yeah, I snuck a few on him though. I was the one that was able to sneak a few on him, so I tried.
So I definitely appreciate your help and appreciate your knowledge and being the past champion and trying to ride on your coattails and get any kind of information I could from you for most of the season. So
Hopefully
it was definitely helpful and appreciative.
Yep, no problem, man. I appreciate you, your support and your friendship.
All right, well, Coey, I guess it's about that time of night. You get actually, Boehner, do you want to grab Little Tank first?
Yep, that works for me. Hey, Little Tank, you got a copy there?
Yes, sir.
Hey, my friend, I saw you up there. It looked like you were racing in the top 5 most of the night, and unfortunately, I was trying to figure out, something had happened there, stage 3. Can you kind of walk us through the race? Tell us a little bit about what happened there, and maybe I don't know if it was a pit road mistake or people got squirrely in front of you. Unfortunately, we missed it on the stream. But tell us about your races by and large, and kind of what got you behind a little bit there in stage 3.
Man, well, first I felt like I had a really fast truck. I started in the back and was able to come up to I was running, I think, 5th for stage 1 and 2. And then I really got my setup dialed in stage 3. Coming to pit road, for whatever reason, I had a brain fart and thought the pit road speed was 55 and got myself a good old penalty. That's what ended the night for me. Other than that, it was a good race until then.
Yeah, man, you definitely had the speed. I mean, like I said, you were up there. It was fun watching basically you, Cowboy, Fatless, Asbill, Trippy, Watt. You guys were all battling up there, for a lot of stage 1 and 2. It looked like you were getting a lot of good practice in for some of the moves you might have wanted to make there in stage 3 if it came down to it. And then, unfortunately, sounds like the pit road boogeyman got you. So that'll happen at Atlanta. That impacted all 3 races this week there. So, but terrific season, man. You got any shout-outs or anything else you'd like to add here?
I just want to thank everybody that puts this show on every week, and Pete for keeping up with us every weekend and streaming it for us, and anybody else that's affiliated with letting us run.
Absolutely. Should we plan on seeing you back next year too?
Oh, absolutely.
Awesome, man. That's great.
Glad to hear.
Pete, you
Great
got
job there,
anything
Little
for
Tank.
Little Tank?
What was
Nah,
that?
Tank.
Yeah, I just want to say,
Yep, go ahead.
yeah, just that he did a great job this year. Little Tank raced with us a while back, and then he came back to race trucks this year, and could definitely see that he's grown over the last couple years and put on some good shows this year, and hats off to him. Good job, Little Tank.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right, Coey, you got the honors of introducing our 2020 Truck Series champion. Go ahead and pick up old Asbel.
Azabel, my God, I'm getting tired of hearing your name, buddy.
Well, I mean, I can't help you with that.
No, I'm just teasing you, man. No, you put on a great show tonight, as you did all season. You definitely came on strong early in the season and just never looked back. You've been dominating trucks. You became our Xfinity champion. Your race tonight, you got ahead there and started pulling away and kind of left the guys behind you. Your strategy seemed good. Your tire wear looked good. You just seemed like you had everything dialed in tonight. Can you go through the race for us and what kind of competition you had, or anything you might have done better, or anything that would have kept the guys closer to you?
It seemed like I'd really gap a lot of people getting on and off pit road. I don't know if they were a little concerned with getting on it or what, but it seemed like that's how I gapped most people. And then some people ended up pitting a lot sooner than I did. I was able to pit with like 6 laps to go on fuel, sometimes 5. It was just, I think some people just had their car a little too loose or something, or they were turning too much, get the right front to wear down. But I mean, other than that, I mean, I don't know. I mean, that third stage, it laid out pretty perfectly where I could pit with like 6 to go each time, and I have enough tire to make it all the rest of the way. So what really scared me was kind of like second stage, because you can, if somebody could really make the tires last, like Swats and Alpha did in the first stage, they would easily make it on one stop on the second stage. But it seemed like they messed up their adjustments on their truck, and it was a little too loose, and they kind of couldn't do that. So I ended up taking 2, because there's only like 5 laps left or 4 laps. So I took 2 tires right there at the end on stage 2, and then I just drove my race. Was patient whenever Trippy got past me, or Fatless, whatever one it was in the third stage. I just kind of rode, and then they slipped up. I just kind of drove, man. Just, you got to block everybody out when you're racing.
Yeah, I was definitely thinking maybe when I saw when Swats had tried to save his tires and then ended up blowing both right sides. I was thinking there might have been a caution there, but no caution came out, and I was waiting to see how that might have finished out. But once you pulled away, it seemed like it was kind of over. And Watt, I thought maybe he was trying some strategy, because he kind of move up and then kind of fade back. So I don't know if he was trying to save some tires. And guys were just trying whatever they could to try to find a way to catch up to you, but they just didn't seem to be able to do it.
Well, Asbel, I tell
Pete,
you
you
what,
got anything else for him?
Yep, absolutely, Asbel. It's been one hell of a season for you, man. You weren't there at the beginning of the season, but when you came in, you came on, and you came on strong. You ran a hell of a season. A lot of lead, a lot of wins. In fact, you know what? I've been throwing out numbers all season long to the guys as they've as they've finished it up, and you're absolutely no exception. It seems like as things have kind of gone along, um, there's always been one person that stood up and stood out, and you and Watt have really both done that. While Watt has 34 races, he hasn't been. I don't think he's missed a single race. Six wins, 1 pole, 24 top fives, 32 top tens, most playoff points, second to you. and you've got 14 wins, 10 poles, 21 top fives, 20 and 22 top tens with 66 stage wins. So definitely no surprise to see the two of you fighting tooth and nail all the way down to all the way down to the wire. So definitely got to congratulate you on a season very well, put together. You started, 13 races after the rest of the league, kicked off at Daytona. So for you to come in, get it done, and get it done in a very strong manner, man. That says a lot for your ability on the track and the way you like to set up your cars and what you can or what you can't expect from them as a short run or a long run car. Congratulations, man.
Thank you, Pete.
Boehner, you got anything for your Rook Racing teammate?
Yeah, man, just congratulations. I mean, great job all year in trucks and Xfinity, and appreciate, it's not, we didn't really know each other too much. We were both just two new guys who recognized each other's names and didn't really have a home at first. And, within NNR, and we kind of came together, and I think we had a lot of fun together, and appreciate how you raced me all season, in Xfinity. And it's hard to race that hard, that many races, and not having issues. So I just appreciate that, and congrats, champ. Now you've done it in 2 series, and good job, buddy.
Thank you, Ben.
All right, guys. Well, that's gonna wrap up the 2020 season. All in all, Asbull was able to get it done here in trucks and Xfinity, while the Aviator was able to go back to back in the Cup Series. So 2020 season has completely come to a close. Definitely want to thank all of you for coming out, hanging out, chatting it up, riding along for 6 months. It's been a lot of fun. Please be sure to keep an eye on Twitter over these next several weeks. You'll hear more about NNR, but also about the Fast Family community races as they progress. I will be streaming more and more of those as the schedule comes to fruition. So please stay tuned. Bakoe, thank you very much for putting a great season together. Swats, thank you very much for stepping up and taking over the role of series admin in order for this series to continue on about halfway through. And we'll see y'all right back here on the track, give or take 6 weeks with a whole new filled in roster, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. Until then, please, guys, stay safe, stay healthy. We'll catch you around the track. It won't be any more on Heat 4. It'll all be on Heat 5. Y'all take care of yourself. Later.